And let's understand one last thing, and I want to leave on this note. We wonder why it is that China is so adamant about maintaining its own vision of internet sovereignty, of maintaining this really quite draconian system of internet censorship. I ask you to try to imagine what the view looks like from China, and to accept, at least for a moment, the idea that China has really since 2009 believed that a US-led regime of liberal interventionism, of liberal hegemonism, has been trying to effect regime change in authoritarian countries around the world. Don't know where they could have gotten that idea, but they believe that this pattern of color revolutions, and then after 2011, these Arab Spring movements were ultimately leading toward Beijing. And when they looked out in the world and they saw what the United States was supposedly doing in each of these instances, they would march up to the bastions of this or that authoritarian regime. They would open up this toolbox, and out would come the same things each time. It would be the perennial boogeyman of the National Endowment for Democracy, the NED funding. It would be these human rights organizations like Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International and their agenda. It would be these wonderful little books like Gene Sharp's From Dictatorship to Democracy from the Einstein Institution. And in there always, it's like one of the main things would be global internet freedom that they would pull out and hold up. And let's face it, like there's one thing that the most hardline people in the Politburo Standing Committee, whether in the Hu Jintao era or today under Xi Jinping, that they believe that also is shared by both the liberal hegemonists, the liberal interventionists, and the neocons. That is that a totally unfettered internet would represent an existential threat to the continued hold on power of the Chinese Communist Party. They both believe that. They just happen to disagree as to whether that would be a good thing or a bad thing. But they certainly believe it. And as long as we continue to append the names of social media sites, American social media sites, to the various Arab Spring uprisings or color revolutions, Moldova was the Twitter revolution. I think there was another Twitter revolution along the way. Tehran in 2009, after the re-election, the supposed re-election of Ahmadinejad, that was called the YouTube revolution. There was the Facebook revolution, of course, was Tahrir Square. But they're taking notes in Beijing. They're going, got that one, Facebook. Okay, you're out. So let's remember that what we do is actually, we Americans, unfortunately, we lack something called security dilemma sensibility. This ability to see how what we do is perceived outside of the United States. And when we are in a security dilemma, as we most certainly are with China right now, this is a very important thing to understand.